Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Jank Radio podcast, episode 3. Currently, I am walking my dog, Judai, and yeah, you'll hear some barking, probably hear some engines running, maybe some wind blowing. I've been wanting to do a podcast with someone. I prefer doing it with at least one other person. I think it helps bounce ideas back and forth. It helps trigger other conversations, and so I don't like doing it by myself. Makes it a little bit, I don't know how my favorite comedian Bill Burr does it. Freaking dogs, get away. Try being nice. Dogs just bark at me. Anyway, what was I saying? Something about favorite comedian Bill Burr. He does an amazing job at doing podcasts by himself. So, yeah, maybe have a list of topics to talk about. Would definitely help. I could practice some of my stand-up, which I've been writing slowly. In addition to doing videos for Yu-Gi-Oh! And making AMVs. Oh my God, these dogs keep chasing me. Jedi, let's go. Forget these dogs. They didn't want to be friends anyway. Come on. Yeah, I usually try walking Jedi in different areas so he can get to know other dogs, I guess. He's made some friends. Man, it really sucks. The time I decided to start working on stand-up, the world goes to shit. I can't go out to clubs to do shows because the world's just on a shutdown. Not to mention I can't be out and about within an ID. I'm currently in Mexico. Unfortunately, I'm a citizen here. And that's a bus passing by. Let me just let that pass. Yeah, it's gotta be sad when you're ashamed of being or ashamed of declaring you are from where you are, but this is not my world. I grew up American. So, first chance I get, I'm going back to the States. This is probably not the right subject to talk about, but whatever. Start somewhere. With the government shut down all official places. I tried getting my ID within the first 2 weeks, but because I have no record of me ever being down here, besides the first 3 years of life, I guess. I know I went to pre-K down here. Besides that, I think that's why it took forever it's still taking forever for me to get an ID. But yes, so the first moment I get a passport, I'm taking off. I'm gonna try to open up a business over there, back where I used to live. I like painting. Preferably paint new buildings. Obviously I'm gonna try to doing the whole stand-up comedy thing. I'll leave a link to my first stand-up show that I did. It's a 15-minute thing. It was an open mic at the Cactus House, Odessa, Texas. It was a lot of fun. I was really nervous. It was crazy. Like, I had studied some of the stories that I actually wrote out. I was ready to go. But the moment I hit the stage, I forgot almost more than half the stories that I prepared with. And I told a bunch of stories that I've only sort of started writing. And so they came out a little weird compared to what I actually wanted them to sound like. Judah keeps eating stuff off the ground. what was I saying? Yeah, like I was. Yeah, the moment I hit the stage, grabbed the mic, just poof, my brain just totally went clear. Like I had to start. My freaking finisher story was supposed to be my starter. Like it just, like I couldn't remember what the hell I was gonna talk about. Oh damn it! I gotta get around this without getting all the noise for it. Yeah, like it's just terrible down here. I'm gonna, once the world opens up again and I can get an ID, so not to be as afraid to be out and about. Because apparently, you if the cops stop you for whatever reason, they can stop you. They don't give a crap down here. They'll stop you, interrogate you for no reason, and you don't have an ID on you. Cops can just take you somewhere, beat your ass, leave you wherever, and the cops bribing you for whatever you have on you is totally okay with them. I mean, you almost have to call the gangsters on the cops, but even they're afraid of them. So you just gotta accept what happens to you, and because you can't call the cops on the cops and didn't do anything. They'll come and help them instead. And I say they as in almost, it sounds like I'm speaking about all of them. That's probably not true. It could be a percentage range. It's most likely more of them than more dirty cops than there are clean ones. And it's assery. Yeah, a cousin of mine, I think within the 3 week, you know what, Judah, let's go this way. We're not going that way. I think within 3 weeks, he's got his ass kicked at least twice by police for no reason. Well, I mean, he's an idiot and he has it coming. I have no respect for him. And you know, regardless, all they did was stop him. He didn't have a mask on. He definitely didn't have any ID on him. Considering he's lived all his life down here, yeah, he threw away his life. So you know, whatever happens to him, I really don't give a crap. But what's this guy doing? Oh, he's pulling into this house. But yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, they whooped his ass. And, yeah, as far as we know, it was just because he didn't have a mask or his ID. And I don't even know he was inside any buildings. But not to mention he was out at night doing who knows what. He's a junkie for sure. Like, they just picked him up to take him to rehab for who knows what time this was. Flashing lights. Sorry, keep moving. But anyway, so yeah, first chance I get, going back to the States. Hopefully the world is open and I can get stand-up comedy going. There's so many things I want to do. I'm cool with painting. Like I said, I like painting, preferably indoors, new buildings. I don't like doing refurnishing or painting houses that already have occupants in it. But I mean, I've done it before. It's just, yeah, painting new buildings is a lot easier since you don't have to worry about making too much of a mess or getting paint on something that you shouldn't. So I'll try to get that going when I get back. I got a freaking motorcycle. I mean, I love motorcycles, but it's such an inconvenience to everybody else when they're that loud. Yeah, I'm gonna try doing painting job. If I can do that during the day, freaking dogs. I can do that during the day, and oh jeez, these dogs. Take it easy, Jedi. Easy. I'm just gonna stand here, let these dogs kind of get to know each other. These guys seem pretty aggressive. It's just not. Stand strong, Jedi. Just talk to them a little bit. Oh, okay. We got a she dog and we got a guy dog. They're probably just being protective. And this she dog is sucking on her own teeth right now. Can't say I've ever seen that before. Yep, she's just going away. She's walking while sucking her own teeth. That's definitely strange. But let's just keep moving, Jedi. Huh. Definitely weird. Yeah, I'll do painting drop during daytime, and night times, if I get a gig, I'll go do some stand-up. Hopefully stand-up overshadows painting. I don't mind doing lawn mowing services, so I can get that going. But one of my biggest passions is I like cooking. I want to open up a restaurant where I could do stand-up too. So make it a comedy club, restaurant kind of thing. And I can have people working under me doing the painting or the lawn mowing. And I was doing all that anyway before. So and if I can actually go to comedy shows that are somewhat nearby, hopefully I end up staying in Odessa. Oh no, the wind. Oh, doesn't interfere too much. Yeah, definitely would. And I hear that. Oh, it's starting to rain. Should probably go home. I hear that Joe Rogan's gonna move to Texas, so that's kind of cool. I don't know where, but I mean, if he does shows nearby, I would definitely love to be able to go, and definitely be able to go to more Comic-Con conventions. I've only gone to one, and it was the very first one that went to Odessa, which was actually really awesome. I met Johnny Yambosh, the second Black Ranger for Mighty Morphin. If you don't know who he is, he was the Asian dude. Or I think he's half Asian, half something else. He does a lot of voices for anime. Code Geass, he played Lelouch, V Britannia. Let's see. I don't remember the name of the character, but he played on Toradora. He played Vash the Stampede, a classic. Oh, we got another dog here. Talk to him, Jedi. Or her. Woo! Let's go. She looked like she either just gave birth, because she has also teeth hanging. Almost every female dog I meet has teeth. A bunch of slut dogs down here. Yeah, where the hell am I? Oh, I think I know where I am. It's store down here. So yeah, it's a whole. Come on, Judah. It's a whole nother world. Why does this one like pee out here? Come on. Yeah, I don't know. And I just heard a gunshot that way. I think I'm gonna go this way now. It's time to go home anyway. Starting to get some droplets. Ah, god damn it! Motorcycle bastard had to come past me. I'm gonna try to fix up a motorcycle at some point. Okay, yeah, the rain is definitely coming down. Yeah, I'm a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh, the card game. Obviously, if you're listening to this, you would probably know that. But for those who don't know that, and for whatever reason are trying to listen to this for the first time, yes, I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. The reason I want to get a motorcycle, you can probably guess. If you've seen Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, they play card games on motorcycles. I'm sure you've probably heard that phrase before. If not, there you go. Yeah, I'm going to try to fix it up and make it look like a Duel runner. At first, I was thinking of making it like Yusei's, the Yusei Go Duel Runner he has, or just make my own custom one. Maybe both. I'll make one first and then the other. I wonder, maybe I could make it. I could make it to where the frame or the outside of it, or the frame. I'm probably saying it right. I'm not sure of my motorcycle parts, but the outside, like I can take off the parts to make it look like one, and then took off, and switch it back and forth. I can make them look like either my custom one or Yusei's Duel Runner. But the handlebars or the driving mechanism for the Yusei Go is a little different than your typical motorcycle. So if I do happen to do that, the controls will be the same. It'll just look like his or look like my own. Alright, I'm just gonna walk this way towards my house. Although I'd rather take the long way for Judai to get exercise. The rain's gonna get us. Good out with you. These dogs again. There you go. And this one's also pregnant. Being a bitch. So I'm gonna. Then apparently my father down here has friends in different working areas. So he has friends who work at a junkyard, also where they fix cars. So he probably has some motorcycle parts I can use and put together. Eventually, when I'm able to work again, or actually start working, it really sucks not having an ID and I can't work. I made some money here and there helping my uncles, but it's obviously not going to be enough. Yeah, you heard that. I don't think he was talking to me. So, come on, July. I'm gonna try to put a motorcycle together. See how that goes. Considering I don't know a thing about motorcycles. I didn't want to. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going anymore with the self-conversation. I give Judah some water. Set that down for a sec. Judah, stop. Yep, like I said, I don't like doing the podcast by myself. Oh, I almost dropped the phone. It's just too strange, but maybe I should do it more often. Maybe I'll get used to it. But yeah, I'd rather have somebody else. And it's difficult enough to get somebody, some of the crew to do this with me. That running water was this faucet we have outside, so don't think I was out here peeing. I didn't. What the hell was I gonna say? I better walk away from that water run. I'm filling up this other dog's water container. I haven't made a podcast by myself either for a while because it's difficult to get some privacy where I'm living at, which is an aunt of mine's. It's like there's no place for me to sit and just chill and talk, I guess, to myself. And I don't want to do the podcast with any family. They're just too weird. Although that would actually make the show a little interesting. Probably have to hit pause while I move this freaking big ass water container to this other dog. Yep, the water's coming down. I'll take care of that for just a sec. Okay, I'm back. I had to use both hands to feed these dogs and give them their water. It's kind of starting to rain, but I'm under this tree, so I think I'll be okay just for a little bit longer. What was that thing I said? Something about a motorcycle? Yeah, I'm gonna put one together. What I really need to do is get my freaking car with a freaking mechanic eventually. But yeah, hopefully everybody's taking care of themselves during this ridiculous time. I'm sure people in the States are what the hell's going on over there? It's freaking nuts. They opened the world a little bit for like a couple of days, and everything goes to hell. That not all that innocent dude who something Floyd was a supposed martyr, and everything was rooting for him, or everybody was rooting for, not everybody, those Black Lives Matter supporters. Yeah, the guy didn't deserve to die, but what got him in that situation? Him using his fake money, being all drugged up, and here come the hater comments. Yeah, go ahead. Say he didn't. The cops were wrong for killing him. Yeah, of course, I know that. Don't go tell me that crap. How many times do people have to say that? Yeah, killing him doesn't justify, or isn't justified. I already know that. Don't tell me the obvious. But I've said it many times before. It's cause and effect. Well, what got him in that situation? To end up dying. His own dumbass buying cigarettes with a fake 20. And of course he wasn't cooperating with the police because he was on drugs like an idiot. But don't expect me to feel sorry for someone who puts themselves in the same situation. That gets them to where they get punished or hurt for whatever reason. Insert Pikachu's surprise face at some point in that story. Like an aunt of mine down here. It's been a couple of times that she's gotten physically abused by her legally current husband. He beat her ass sometimes, a couple of times before in the past. She goes back with them, gets her ass kicked again, and then she comes over here crying after everybody warned her. You know, if he doesn't once, he's gonna do it again. She refuses to listen. Yeah, don't. You have no sympathy for me. You want to be in an abusive relationship? Got nothing to do with me. By all means. You're choosing to put yourself in harm's way. You know, some people do it as a heroic act, not even for the heroic applause, but they do it because it's the right thing to do. Put themselves in danger to help someone. But when you go into an abusive relationship, knowing something bad will happen or something's already happened before, you know, you're asking for it. Don't the first time, yeah, you know, how could such a thing happen? It happens again, like, you know what? Nope, that's it. I tried helping you out. Tried telling you the guy's a piece of crap. Don't come crying to me. You're welcome to get your ass kicked again. I'll even help you get back with them so you can get your ass kicked. Nah, I don't care. So yeah, and then what happened? Like, I just saw that news where some 3 bastards killed this Mexican guy who sold popsicles. I think they were trying to rob him. They ended up shooting him. He died like, was it 5 or 8 days later in the hospital? And they all got sentenced to jail. I don't know if it was for life or for the rest of their lives, but yeah, where the Black Lives Matter followers protecting them? Were they innocently robbing that guy? I don't think so. Obviously they weren't. Obviously they weren't innocent. I mean, that's stupid. I just want to. I want to see all the Black Lives Matters followers be like, get on their side. I just want to see what they would do. Also, hashtag All Lives Matter. It's funny how people would think that just because we don't say Black Lives Matter and we say All Lives Matter, we think that we're against Black Lives. No, we're not against you, but we're definitely not with you. And when I say we, I don't mean everybody. I actually just mean me. What is it, Jedi? You're barking at. Jedi, be quiet. Yeah, I said it. I said that. You're not gonna do anything about it because I'm right. You can't do it. You're gonna be upset because somebody proves you wrong. Those are the best conversations to have, or best people to have conversations with. Is those people who just don't like being told they're wrong. It makes the conversations way more interesting. And uh, they can't do anything about it when you tell them, when you prove them wrong, and they just argue with you over and over again until you just choose to give up in order to end that stupid conversation. But yeah, I like arguing with people like that. It's fun. Oh, like I had put the hell was I arguing about with a friend of mine? Honestly, I don't remember the conversation. Something about, yeah, it was about that Floyd dude. I put just what I said. I was like, yeah, cause and effect. He got himself in this situation, got killed, and the friend of mine was like, well, yeah, if you take all the humanity out of it and just make it black and white, does. I was like, yeah, it's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not putting any feelings in what I said. I'm saying he did this, and it led to wherever he was at some point. Obviously, I'm not saying what the cops did was okay, because I keep getting crap from them saying, they keep telling me that, saying, well, it's not justified for him to get killed. I'm like, yeah, no shit. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he put himself in that situation, and that's where he ended up. That's it. And, and then I put, if you want to know how I feel about it, sure, I'm sure he had some people who liked him. Sucks for them. You know, I guess. I mean, I don't know them, so they can have some sympathy. Cause yeah, I guess he had some people who enjoyed his company, and now they lost someone. And yeah, I know losing someone sucks. And then so yeah, I told him, yeah, exactly. I'm not putting any feelings into my statement. I'm saying this is what happened. And then I gave my how I felt about it, which wasn't all that much either. I guess it kind of stopped raining, but it was getting dark anyway. It was time to come inside. But yeah, as for this dog of mine that I have, it's very difficult to take care of him. Sort of. Any money I get pretty much goes to him. Thanks to my freaking uncle who had to give me a dog. I was petting, like my first few days here, I was playing with his dog a little bit. Not really, I was just kind of sitting there and the dog crawled onto me. It was a puppy, so he came to me. I was just kind of thinking to myself for a little bit, and it was actually sort of my sister's fault that I have this dog now, because she saw me just sitting there with the dog, and she saw that I looked all sad because I missed my dog back in Odessa. Well, it's my niece's dog, but I took care of it just as much. Bought all the necessity, all the food for it. Took care of her. Obviously we lived together, so yeah, like she said that, look, I must miss our dog up there. Obviously I did, but that's not what was going through my head when I was petting that puppy. So a couple of, like, 3 days later, my uncle comes by with this puppy. He was like, yeah, he just got it from a friend. He was like, you want him? And I was like, in my head, I was like, Uncle, I just got deported. I have no job. I can't work right now without an ID. You seriously gonna go throw this dog on me? And I was gonna say no, but they have kids there. My cousin's kids. They were, I don't know, maybe 7 and 5, something like that. And I was like, if I say no, it'll be their puppy, and they're too young to understand how to not pick up puppies too much. And for the sake of Judai, which I named a little after I got him, I said yes, I'll take him. And the first thing I told the kids, I was like, I don't want him to get spoiled, and I don't want him to end up getting sick. I don't know if dogs get sick from being picked up too much, but I told them, do not pick him up, no matter what. And I mean, I caught him a couple of times picking him up, and I would just yell at him from inside the house, because I see him outside picking him up, like, put him down, in Spanish, obviously. So yeah, I told him, yeah, I'll take the dog, and it's been a couple of months. This crazy dog. The only thing I was able to teach him really is just to sit down. Man, that's only when he's about to eat. So that's kind of cool. And he's adorable as hell. Whenever I'm just kind of chilling with him, he grabs his sleeping sweater that my uncle gave him. Whenever he wants to play, he brings it over. He drags it over in his mouth and tries to put it in my hand so we can play tug of war. So yeah, he's definitely a good dog. He has a loud bark, or a deep bark for he's still growing, so that's cool. Yeah. So now I'm stuck with this dog. Not that I mind now, but yeah, I got him just because of my sister had told my uncle that I miss my dog back home, and so he went to go get this one. And now, every bit of money I make goes to him. It's like I keep thinking of that Bugs Bunny meme that's come out now. It's like, oh good, I made money, and I picture Jedi saying, we made money, or my money, one of those. Yeah, this is why I prefer more people on my podcast, so we can help each other out, pick things up. The first podcast had 2 people, myself and apparently Wake, who called himself Jank Boy, and then the second podcast had Old School Pervert and Himes 432, I think it was. So we had 3. We went from 2 to 3, and then down to 1. This podcast is going all over the place. Like I said, I can't do a video podcast call because I have no privacy in the house that I'm at. I can only either be in the kitchen or in the kitchen on my computer. And obviously you would see and hear people going back and forth in the background. Maybe I'll just end the podcast here at 35 minutes. I hope it sounds okay. I don't want to pre-hear it, but I'll hear it again. I'll hear it anyway, so I can, whenever I edit it, to put some pictures behind it. I'm gonna go inside, play a little Yu-Gi-Oh, make some more videos. This podcast was brought to you by the Hero Hut. Obviously, I have no sponsors at the moment. Maybe one day. uh, and I can't buy stuff online right now because I don't have a way to have a savings of sorts. So I suppose, well, first chance I get, I'll make. I do have a Patreon. It'll be in the description. If you like AMVs, which is, if you don't know what that means, I don't know why you're here, but it's anime music videos. I'll leave a link to that as well. And if you want to look at the duels or the Yu-Gi-Oh plays that I post up, just look at my Edopro Jank Duels playlists, and there's also a Wagio Pro playlist that I made some time ago. Before Wagio Pro pretty much canceled out and Edopro took over. It was the same project, it's just new people. Yeah, if you're interested in seeing some Jank plays, Jank duels, you're welcome to check those out. And like I said, check out the AMVs that I make. I'm about to make another one. It might be a little bit, but I'll make another AMV. Yes, like I said, thank you for joining the Hero Hut podcast. It is a little lonely doing it by myself. Hopefully, I can pick up on doing it alone later. Maybe I will get a list of topics next time. And I guess it'll be my practice for doing stand-up comedy. Keep an eye out for more Jank Radio. We'll see you when we see you. And we are back to the following day. Since yesterday was slightly interrupted by the rain and a lot of background noise from when I was walking Judai. Here I am walking him again. This time I'm in a slightly secluded area. I'm going to just try to fill the next 25-ish minutes, 24-ish minutes of to make it a full hour. I'm somewhat more prepared than yesterday. Let me see. Maybe I could just practice some of my stand-up. Let me see here. Where's the topics? Not that. Give me just a sec. Yesterday I went out walking just a little too late in the day, and it got dark too quickly. So we passed Pride Month a little while ago. I think where are we? We're in August already. Yeah, we're in August. It was what, July? Probably. Man, I still think how hilarious it is that people were trying to do straight pride, trying to throw that in. It's really stupid. I love the one time, or rather the first time, the dude tried to make a straight pride parade. Nobody showed up, from what I seen, or from the bulletin. The cover of the story just saying that he was really pissed off that nobody showed up to the straight Pride Month. I mean, there's no reason to have such a thing. Not like you were being made fun of for being straight. Although I think we're leading in that direction. Like if you're not into somebody who's gay, then, or rather, if you're not gay, then you're against gays. I don't think that's, or rather, I'm pretty sure that's not the case. You don't have to not agree with something to be against it. Or rather, was that the other way around? You don't have to be... Just because you're not with it doesn't mean you're against it. And the poor bastard was pissed off, because nobody showed up to the thing. But I think, did they actually make it real? The straight pride parade? But yeah, it's getting bad, especially with the whole with this whole crazy thing going on with like those who are either trans or in any. Let's just go with the alphabet movement. That since guys didn't want to date trans women, that automatically makes them transphobic. That's ridiculous. So why? No, Judah, let go of that. What? Just because they're not into it, that means that they're totally against it and they just want to get rid of all people? No. It, it's a sexual orientation, just like anything else. Being into the standard opposite sex attraction, men and women. Just because one has it that way doesn't mean that they're against all the others. So why the hell would they make it a big ass fuss about it? Be who you want to be, but be all about that movement, but then get mad at others because they're not into your thing. Get the hell out of here. I'm talking to you. That get the hell out of here is to the rant, not to this thing that's in my way. No, Jedi. Yeah, it's nuts. Why does that make it that you're against it? I'll keep you guessing on what my orientation / preference is. Why would I want to give too much info away? Despite me already giving out quite a bit of it. But yeah, like it's crazy. Just because, yeah, you're allowed to be and say and do what you want. Or rather, pretend to be what you want. But everybody else can't. Come on, Jedi. Hang on. This is some crazy steps that I'm walking on for Jedi. No, Jedi. The step is taller than him. Yeah, each step reaches up to my knee. Come on. This way. This will wear him out pretty good. Like, why is that okay? Why is it okay to hate on somebody who has no hate for you, and when all they're doing is saying, I'm not into trans. Why you gotta be all in my ass about it, or all on my ass? If you say in your ass, they're gonna be either flattered or totally offended. Judah, come on, up, come on. What are you down there for? Come on, come on, up. There you go. Not too high up. I didn't. Yeah, it's crazy. Nope, you can't have that. Come on. Let's see. So yeah, Pride Month passed. Sure, be happy who you want to be, but don't be against trans, or rather, don't have your own sexual preference, because then the trans will come after you, or the whole alphabet. It's getting there. It's already what, 6 letters? LGBTQ. I don't know. LGBTQ. That's 5. I added an F. If you can guess what the F is for. Awesome. Some people argue with me saying that gay's already on there. It doesn't need the F. And just so you know, I you could say I'm part of the community. Why not? So I'm allowed to say the word fag. So it's LGBTQF. Lesbian, trans, gay, queer, fag. I feel like I'm missing one. Let's see, LGBT. Oh, bisexual. Then queer, then fag. As I said, I won't let you know where I fit in there. Probably one of the letters that hasn't on there yet. I was talking to a friend of mine about opening the restaurant I've mentioned before. It's getting a little windy. And then what I told him was like, at first I was joking, but now I'm thinking I might. Who knows how I'll get there. God damn it, these guys on their motorcycles. Or dirt bikes, mini bikes. Midget bikes, I don't know what they call them. I mean, that's cool. They're just running around on the freaking basketball court. So yeah, this restaurant I want to open. I like to bake. I like making cookies and cupcakes. Whatever ingredients I want to use that uses milk, I want to make it make it pregnant women's breast milk, the most purified version of it. Oh, it's probably not walk around here. There's a glass here. Jedi, come on. I think that's probably safe, right? We'll have what I'm thinking I'll have the women go take I guess get me a certified copy of their test results, I suppose, where the doctor tells them that their milk is healthy, which most of the times it is. Make sure you get background checks on the person, that on their lifestyle, making sure that they're not intoxicating their body with anything that's harmful that would make the milk awful. So I want to have breast milk as some of the top ingredients. How the milk will be extracted, that's still questionable. They could have the milk the breast pumps for that. Still debating whether that's gonna be like having human cattle for the Hero Hut. But yeah, screw it. It'll be I should really look up if there's any restaurants that have human cattle as part of their where they get their products from. But yes, I'll make sure that the women are healthy. Make sure the milk is very edible, and I think pregnant women are sexy. Well, if you're in shape. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, a woman with a fine body and pregnant, you can't get any more beautiful than that. Come on, Jedi. This way. I'm probably gonna hold my phone with this hand that holds the chain because it's gonna tear it out of my hands. So I was talking to a friend of mine and his wife who just gave birth. He was telling me that he had drank some of the breast milk, and he said it was sweet. I've never experienced that, so I can't say. Or rather, for some reason, I think he told me it had like a bitter / sweet taste to it at the same time. But he didn't find it too bad, and he was. We were talking about what would they think if I used it as an ingredient for the Hero Hut pastries. And the woman, she's a friend of mine too. I can say his woman or she friend of mine. She was like, yeah, I wouldn't eat there. I was like, oh, it broke my heart that a friend of mine wouldn't want to eat at a restaurant that I'm working on. So, yeah, she was telling me that there was, I don't even know what relation she had to the person who she told me about. This gentleman would make his coffee with his daughter's breast milk, which I thought that was bizarre. Drinking someone's breast milk from a complete stranger or not stranger, just someone not blood related to you, just sounds fine to me. But when it's your own daughter, that's crazy. But what I find even more crazy is that at the moment we're all drinking milk from a freaking cow. Cows, goats, and I don't know what else they make milk come from. But yeah, it seems we humans are okay with drinking the milk from those animals. Why would it be wrong to be drinking milk from pregnant women? That shouldn't be really an issue. I think I'm gonna walk around this area more often. No, to where Jedi at a little bit. But it might get boring since there's just walking up the same thing. So I probably won't do it too often, just often enough. Come on. Yeah, he's definitely getting tired. Come on, Jedi. So I'm walking this way to give you a time to rest, fool. Right, what was I saying? Yeah, it's totally okay to be drinking breast milk from... Or I think it's cool. Obviously, we'll have the breast milk... we'll do trial where it's directly from the breast and you just use it right away. If we need to cleanse it some way, we'll do that too. What could we do? We could boil it, I guess. Run it through some filters. Let it cool. Refrigerate it. Would that be okay to let milk cool after being boiled? Letting it room temperature sit. I feel like that would make it go bad, but I don't know how to mess with that yet. But we'll get there. Topic change. Religion. That was on my list of topics for podcasts. I don't know how I'll implement that. Well, I mean, I've already mentioned the whole Jesus cosplayer. So let's see if we can find another route. I'm not gonna say not really. I'm not religious. I mean, my family comes Catholic, but it's not my thing. I had gone to church a little bit when I was younger, but honestly, it was because the bus ride on the way home, we'd always get donuts. So that's mainly why I went with my friends. And sometimes we had they would have games on the bus for extra donuts, which was pretty unhealthy, but heck, we did our best. Since it was like 4 of us that lived in that was pretty much at the same stop, so if any of us won the game, we got the rest of the donuts, and it was almost the last stop, so if they had extras, they would just give them away to us. Anyway, so that's why I went to that particular church. I do like me some donuts. Man, we're totally gonna switch off the religion topic quick because we're gonna start talking about pan dulce. For those not Mexican equipped or not equipped with Mexican knowledge, pan dulce is basically watch it. Pan dulce is the donuts of Mexico. Unlike the donuts being fried, it's more bread that's baked with sweetness in the mix of the. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that. It's bread that's baked, sweet. So it literally translates to sweet bread. It's a pan dulce or candy bread, literally, but basically it sounds better as sweet bread. But I have not eaten more pan dulce in my entire life than I have in the past 6 months that I've lived down here in Mexico, sadly. But I'm trying to keep myself in shape to make sure that pan dulce doesn't go straight to my ass or the rest of my body. Although my ass seems to be what attracted my 2 previous relationships, because apparently I had a better ass than both my girlfriends. Obviously not at the same time, chill out. I thought for sure my dimples or my ability to move my ears was gonna attract them or keep them. But no, they were jealous of my ass. That could have factored in why their relationships didn't work. I was gonna say they broke up with me, but that's none of your business. Damn, we went from religion to my ass. I guess in a way, religion can kiss said ass. Cause I'm not into the whole following some invisible guy who everybody says has done things for me. Like give me life? No, my life was given to me by the 2 people who happen to be with one another. That being my mother and father. If you really need an explanation. Nah, I trusted my own instincts and use my experiences to get past whatever challenges are ahead of me. So, yeah, I'm not much for religion. No, Juday. Come on. Come on. You tired? Wait. He's on the lowest level of these crazy steps. I don't know if I think he's starting to make it up. What the the hell? My next topic, for some reason, it's wide set vaginas. Why do I have that? I'll come back to that another time. Multiverse instinct. Oh, I think I remember this. I think the reason we're let's see. This is the third day I've made it. Started doing practicing for my stand-up. Let's see. Where are we? The next topic is multiverse instincts. I don't know if I'll make this into a joke, but it is an interesting theory that I came up with. I really like the genres of either time travel or multiverse, which sort of fits into that. More into dimensional travel, but where it comes into play with instincts, I wanted to. I thought it would be weird that to think about. Let's say something's coming flying at you and it hits you, right? So, what about the same situation where something comes at you, but you're able to dodge it at the last second, saving yourself? So, what I'm thinking about, what I call multiverse instinct, is what about you get the signals from the other universe that the other you got hit by this flying object, and so now the you of the you of this universe manages to, or the universe where, I need to call them universe A and B. Let's say universe A is the one where the person gets hit by an object. Universe B is where they don't get hit. So the signals from universe A get sent to B, and so they basically sense some object coming at them, and that's where they're able to dodge at the last second. You could consider it when someone is training in one universe, the universe A, they get hit by whatever. Let's say you're boxing, you get hit by one punch, but universe B gets the signal that you got hit. So obviously not knowing you get hit, but that you see the hit coming at you, so you dodge it, right? That's pretty much it in like the quickest explanation. But I thought it'd be something to discuss more when I'm, I guess, drinking with friends. Either I make friends who are interested in things like that down here, or save it for a time that I'm drinking and talking to my friends online or something. But one friend's definitely gonna be like, "Oh, here we go with the multiverse thing again." That's right. If you listen to this, I'm talking to you, Slow Dance, or about you. Both. I guess we're going to move to another subject. I definitely like a lot of things that happen accidental and end up being some of the best things. For instance, the guy who invented the potato chip, whose name I will figure out eventually. I can find it easily, but at the moment, let's just go with this chef gentleman had a restaurant where it was pretty well known in the town, and some wealthy man who wasn't familiar with the town or the restaurant showed up and just asked the guy if he could make him some French. I don't know what they called the potatoes at the time when they fried them. Maybe just call them by their full name, French fried potatoes. Come on. And so he asked the gentleman, serve me some French fried potatoes. I think the cook, the owner of the restaurant, didn't know how the gentleman, or rather how to make the French fried potatoes. So he told him, do this and this. I mean, he had potatoes for whatever other reasons probably. And so he cuts them up, fries them a little bit, so they're soggy, fairly thick, and the gentleman eating them wasn't impressed. He was like, make them thinner and don't let them be so soggy with the frying oil. Damn Jedi. So he tells him this, and the cook begrudgingly takes the plate and he either makes another batch or just makes those slices of potatoes thinner, which would be a challenge in itself. So he does it again. The wealthy man still isn't happy with it. He says, make them thinner, and then so at that point the owner he's already had enough of this guy, so he makes them thinner, like really like too thin, and then when he fries them, he basically just makes them crispy, puts a little salt on them, and the reason he made them crispy was he was trying to get back on him because during that time, eating with utensils was a sign of what's the word? Where it shows you have class, I suppose. So during those times, eating with your hands was just not acceptable in high society. So he was trying to embarrass the man in his head, thinking, "Ha! Now you can't use your forks. Now you got to use your hands." And of course, the wealthy man did so because he kept trying to stab into the potato chips. They kept breaking. He was like, "All right, you can't do this." So he starts eating them by hand. And then that's when the cook is thinking, in his head, take that. That's his little victory. And then he notices the wealthy man just eating away and with a sappy grin on his face, asking. He didn't know that the owner of the restaurant didn't know how to make potatoes or fried potatoes like that guy wanted. And so he asked him, what do you call this dish? Like I said, I don't know if he had the potatoes already or just wasn't familiar on how to cook them. And he may have just called them potato crisps because that's all they were, potato, and they were crispy. No, Jedi, come on. So he's getting into these crazy bushes. Come on, up. Come on. There we go. No, not that way. This way. Come on. And so yeah, hence that's when the chips took off, and he managed to get a good crowd going. A lot of people. It could be that is the reason finger food was accepted a little more, because he didn't allow the potato chips didn't allow the use of forks. If they were Asian, using chopsticks would have been just as good. But that worked out. Come on, Judah. I scared off the couple that was making out here a second ago. I try to keep my distance, but I think talking as loud as I was scared them away. So I didn't speak English. I could have just practiced my stand-up with them. In any case, that was the somewhat invention of the potato chips. Oh, right. There was a movie that a friend of mine had shown me. I suppose it was a horror movie, slasher film, or a thriller. The protagonists were, I guess, two girls, and there were. It starts out with them coming from a Halloween party. They were pretty tipsy, and so they decided to go into this pizzeria. And so when they walk in, some dude in clown makeup, just black and white. Did I drop it? Excuse me. He had to pick up whatever in his mouth. Come on. So this clown guy, without ever saying anything, he just kind of messing with the girls. Particularly one who just finds him creepy, but he gets this little ring from this quarter machine and gets her one, puts it on her finger, trying to act sweet. Eventually, the girls leave the restaurant because they're kind of creeped out. Turns out as they do this, they just I don't know. The clown guy goes into the restroom, and then the girls leave, trying to just get away from him altogether. The owner of the pizzeria goes and checks on why he's taking so long in the restroom. Depending on the context, I think he caught him jerking it in the restroom, because he brings him out, calling him a pervert, telling him to get out of the restaurant. That, or he either piss or crap all over the restroom. It's really hard to tell. But the fact that he called him a pervert pretty much gives it a good idea. Oh, Judah, we need to not walk right here. There's glass. Just as he's kind of getting dragged out, the clown gets a serious look at his face, as much as a clown with makeup on can get, which actually is pretty terrifying. So, eventually I think there was the assistant cook was in the back somewhere. He hears some loud yell, and when he comes to the front, he finds the owner lying on his back, and his face is all chopped up. It was gross. During this time, I was eating. We had been eating pizza. Me and this friend who showed me this movie. It was not a good idea. And especially the opening, it showed a victim of his prior to. It was just the opening of the movie. Her face was just all kinds of molded up, as best recovery as can get. She probably didn't have enough money for reconstruction of her face, because it was gross. In any case, the restaurant owner's face was all kinds of messed up, and then just as he was dying, his tongue was moving, whatever consciousness the poor guy had. And at that point I was giving up. I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't be eating this freaking pizza while you showed me this slow dance. I'm not gonna give away his name. I'm just gonna call him slow dance, because you just can't dance apparently. Sure, you can dance better than I can. I can only dance choreography, or choreographical dancing. So just as I was giving up, the scene changed, and there wasn't any gore for like a long time in that movie. So my breaking point was just at the edge. It was on Netflix. So if you can find some movie about a clown on Netflix, that's not the movie It, because it wasn't. Isn't his colors like red and white? This clown was red and black. I mean, white and black. If you like gross movies, check it out. If you don't, you're not missing much. Let's see. Selling cookies at a tournament. It's the next one. I like to bake, as I mentioned before. I had taken cookies to a card game tournament that I went to, Yu-Gi-Oh! If you need to know. No, Jedi, damn. I had taken a fair amount of cookies with me, and as I was playing against the opponents, before the tournament started and during I would tell them, hey, I got cookies for sale if you want some. It was 2 for $1. I think that's a fair price. I could have sold them for $2 total. But I kept getting asked, do they have weed in them? And at first I was baffled, and then I realized most of the crowd I was playing with, they're at that age where they can get such things, I suppose. But I had to tell them, oh, sorry, they're not weed cookies, and unfortunately that was a no-go. I didn't sell as much as I wanted. I sold a couple. That wasn't the worst. If nothing else, we had snacks. Me and the crew whom we went to this tournament with before. So kudos. We still no Jedi. Damn, come on. I do like making cookies. Easier than cakes, but I do like making cakes too. Cupcakes I have no issue with. They're just harder to transport. I think that's the real issue that I have, because it's easier to move cookies than it is a cupcake that has icing and you have to have a big container for them. Cookies, I can carry 24 cookies in a small box, which I want to start doing whenever I get the chance to get ingredients, or rather, as of now, have my sister give me ingredients. God, I really hate depending on her, and I have been for the past few months. But yeah, an aunt of ours has a grocery store, and I asked her if she would sell some cookies for us. So that's cool. As soon as I start baking some, I'll sell her the box, and we'll see where that goes. She'll make a profit out of something she didn't work for. All she's doing is selling them for me. Although the pricing is going to be a little bit of a challenge, because the dollar down here is, at the moment, 18 pesos. So I guess sell them for 18, or sell them for 20, I guess, and let her keep 5. Yeah, a little box of cookies because they're homemade, unlike the other cookies that she sells. She sells them for like 1 peso for the cookie. So I'm sure it's cool, but they're store bought. Homemade is just as nice, or rather, better sometimes. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I was trying to sell cookies innocently at this at this tournament that I had gone to, but I kept getting asked if they were wheat brownies or cookies. So that didn't work out like I wanted. All right, I guess we'll move on to those were podcast topics that I just did. So, and loosely stand-up stories. So let's move on to actual stand-up stories that I eventually want to use on stage. If I can find the list. 1 sec. Here we are. And remember, this is me practicing. I haven't written them all out just yet. I've written a couple, but I want to write. I want to work on some I haven't written yet. Let me see. Ball wedgie. I think we all know, or rather, all the guys know what a ball wedgie is. Basically, when you're boxers, you have to be wearing boxers for this. I don't know if I would really want to write this story. This is really stupid. But doesn't it suck when you get a ball wedgie and you're out in public and you just have to pull it out, and you try to be sneaky and you just happen to catch or get eye contact with the one person who caught you. You have no choice but to accept what just happened. That's kind of it. There wasn't much to it. There was a time that I managed to catch this pencil that was flying right by me without looking in the direction that it was coming from. This jerk off was trying to. We were in school, and this ass was trying. I don't know why he was trying to throw a pencil at my girlfriend, but I was talking to her, and then I put my hand in front of her face with the back of it was my left hand, I believe. The back of my hand was towards her, like almost close to her face. So I caught the pencil, and it was relatively loud in class. And when I caught it, everything just got quiet. Like, you heard the gasp of everyone. And then when I started looking around, everybody was looking at me. They were a little scared, or surprised. I couldn't tell. But I should have been paying more attention and looked at whomever looked the most scared to be able to find out who was the bastard who threw that pencil at my girlfriend. Because that would have been something I could have just made it badass. I could have been like, you want to either, I really have nothing. I had nothing. I couldn't sound badass. I think that's why I didn't say anything. And I just nonchalantly kept talking to my girlfriend about whatever the hell I was talking about. And yeah, it was interesting because I was looking at everybody. I was sort of looking at everybody slowly and just trying to figure out who did it. But at the same time, I really had nothing to say, so I just kept talking to my girl about whatever I was talking about. Wearing Jedi hat, walking up and down these stairs. But it feels really stage-like, so I do dig practicing here. So that was my saving my girlfriend from getting stabbed in the eye with a pencil story. Probably need to work on the title. Mean face. My family has a standard emotion, you could say, a neutral or on. Damn, there's no way for me to put it. Yeah, without trying, our face just looks mean. Like, don't mess with me, basically, or I don't want to talk to you. That's basically why a friend that I have, we could have met a whole year sooner. And he was in that class where I had caught that pencil. The friend of mine had, I think another time later, he saw me with my Yu-Gi-Oh cards out and about. I was talking to somebody else. My girlfriend was a few desks away, and so he saw me with my cards. He told me this like some years later, that a year prior to meeting, he had seen me with this. I didn't know he was there, and so he had said that he wanted to talk to me about the cards because he plays too, but he said I look like a jerk. He's like, my face is just it was just not the kind of face that you want to talk to somebody with. So yeah, sorry, Judah was walking behind me and getting between my legs. I'm wearing them up pretty bad. I don't have any water for him. But yeah, I could have met him a year sooner. That's one more experience, a year experience we could have had. But yeah, he's definitely a really close friend of mine now. And yeah, it's too bad we couldn't know each other sooner. I got kicked out of a tournament some time ago. Actually, not too long ago. It could have been just under a year. Should I drop it? It's not too easy. Yeah, there was this girl who I got paired up with. We didn't make it for the first round, so we got a first round loss. The way it works is you play at the very least, depending on how many amount of people there are at the tournament. It's usually like over 200-ish. So usually you play for points. You don't play, if you lose once, you get knocked out right away. So yeah, you play at least 7 different people. You don't have to play the whole thing. You can drop out at any time, depending what kind of player you are. After about 3 losses, the more competitive players drop out. The more casual players just play throughout the whole thing, which I do. I'm a casual player. At least that was the plan, for me to play that out the rounds. So, like I said, we got round 1 loss. When round 2 started, I got paired up with this girl. I was playing the decks that people play. They vary in how strong they are, depending on the player, how much money they put into it, or rather just the personal play style. Some people play to win, play as fast as you can, and hit them as hard as you can. Not me. I like to. Well, I don't mean to drag out the games. I don't like quick finishes. It's just not fun for me. But I suppose if the opportunity presents itself, I go for the win. And I don't want to say I hold back, but I only hit as hard as I need to. But I guess we don't need to know that. Anyway, I was playing this girl, and her deck was obviously much stronger than mine. I can already tell by the first couple of cards. So she actually had more cards out on the board, ready to finish me off. The cards have their own point system, as do the players. So when this chick was about to finish me off, this is something I practiced with my friends, and it works. Sadly, it only works once against different people, because sometimes twice if they forget. I don't play them in a long time. But I was partly practicing this move on them to show them to keep an eye out for people like that. But it turns out I was probably the only one at the tournament that was being a jerk. So what happened was I told her. I was very literal. I told her it looks like you have this game because you have more. Your cards have more points than I have. As I said, the players and the cards have their own points. So she took this as, yep, you're right. And then so what I did, I pretended to move like I was gonna put up my stuff. I grabbed my box where my cards go in. I sort of moved some cards, but I didn't move them from the pile they were. I just kind of gave them a bit of a shake, and that was enough for her to think that she was gonna take the match, or rather, to her it seemed like I surrendered. So as soon as she picked up her cards, put them in the box, that was an indication for sure that she surrendered, because I told her, "Well, I don't know why you gave up. All you had to do was attack," which is a term used very, very important to the game. If you don't say I attack your points directly with my card here, which means the card's points will be subtracted from the player, and therefore, the first to reach 0 loses. And unfortunately for her, she fell for it. When she was picking up her things, I told her, "Why'd you surrender?" And she noticed that I had tricked her. And she started. I saw the look in her eyes. She started tearing up. But in my defense, the deck she was playing was really. It was just too powerful. It just wasn't. It was definitely not for casual play. And yeah, it's not her fault. She went to a big tournament, to win, or at least do her best. What else would she do, right? But I didn't care. I partly wanted to try this move out on her, and it totally worked. And so, it's a 2 out of 3 per person. So I won the first one because I was an asshole. And go on, Jedi. And then so the second game, I won fair and square. I managed to outplay her. I was able to hit her harder and faster than she could have me. She didn't get a chance to put her cards out. I mean, she put some, but just not enough to beat me. So yeah, game 2, like I said, I won fair and square. I just drew the right cards at the right time. And unfortunately for her, since I technically won first game and second game, or won the first game to her surrendering, and I won game 2 fair and square, I took the match. You okay, Jude? So yeah, I tried that move again against another player. Nope. Down, Jedi. Down. Sorry, that was a bit high. So I tried this move against another guy. What he was doing, he won the first game fairly easily. He knew all the right moves. Rather, he called the right phrases, unlike the other girl. And so, ow, Jedi, stop biting me. So, ow, I was telling what he was doing. For the first game, he, like I said, he called the moves right, and for the second game, he didn't call the moves out like he should have. He was, he was taking shortcuts in the Okay. He was just saying. He was no longer saying attack this, attack with this, attack with this. He was just pointing at his cards and telling me their points. But when I told him, when I ran out of points, or rather when I should have run out of points, I had told him, well, that's definitely more than the points that I have. And so he starts picking up his cards, and I told him, well, you didn't declare a single attack. You just told me all their points and started picking up your cards. And he got really pissed off. He called a judge, which some walk around the tournament floor to make sure the games are going well. If anybody has any questions on certain interactions, they help out. So when the guy called the judge on, he came over. He told him what happened. So the judge goes to the head judge. So you have your two different levels of judges. You have the regular judges and the head judge. The head judge goes, or rather, the guy goes to the head judge. He comes back a few minutes later. He tells me, "You can pick up your stuff. You're done. You're done for the day." And I was like, "What?" He told me, "Yeah, you got to go." Apparently, the girl from the first time whom I did that to, she reported it to the judges, which I thought it was kind of okay. What I did was really shitty, but I could have gotten at least a warning, saying don't do this again. Because yeah, like after the first game, I looked over. After the first game, I had went to my friends and told them, dude, I totally did this thing to this girl, where I tricked her into surrendering, and then I looked over my shoulder and saw that she was basically crying to her friends. And they're like, dude, you're an ass. How could you do that, such a thing? And so I told them, hey, if it works, it works. And it wasn't technically cheating. It was just it's a term called rule sharking. Basically, just using the rules to play dirty, which is what I was doing. I was playing dirty while still abiding by the rules. And yeah, they don't take rule sharking too kindly, considering they didn't give me a warning. They just kicked me straight out. So that was my getting kicked out of a tournament story. It did suck because now I had to wait most of the day for my friends to get out. But there was a gun show across the venue, or across the hallway from the venue that we were at. So that was something. I didn't do anything with. All I did was get food from the little snack shop they had there. I looked at a couple of different guns. I got a laptop case. That was kind of cool. I wasn't expecting to get such a thing at that time. Let's see. Tournaments, spilling water. There was a time I worked at a restaurant as a waiter. It's actually my first waiter job at this restaurant. I've worked in the kitchen before. That was fun. At a different restaurant. So when I came to this one, I still didn't have the full experience. So I was still somewhat of a rookie, not rookie enough, but handling the pressure of when it's full as hell is definitely something. So there was this time that there was a family had gone to eat, and I was bringing their drinks over. Sadly, I guess I didn't have the experience I needed for carrying a tray with a bunch of drinks on it. So as I put one drink down, or rather, I had one drink left on my tray, and when I was putting second to last drink down, I leaned over too much, and the cup tipped over on the tray, spilling all the water down this kid's back. Icy water at that, and it was nighttime, so the kid just got up yelling, like, what the, like, what else can you do when you spill ice water down one's back? I should probably work on my yelling. Dude, that's your pee. Don't be smelling that. So yeah, he gets up and with a loud yell, and then the whole restaurant just comes looking in our direction. And I was apologizing like crazy. I was saying, I'm so sorry, I can't. I was, just as I'm stuttering now, I was basically stuttering then. And I kept offering despite me not having the money, I kept offering to pay their bill, or at least pay the kid's bill. They're like, no, it's fine. There was an accident. We know you're new. And it was just, thankfully, it was just water. If it was soda, the poor kid would have been all sticky. And amazingly enough, even the kid was cool about it. I mean, all the pun intended. But, you tired, Jedi? Want to go home already? Let's go. We've talked for 40 minutes. Where's the way out? Okay, come on. Okay. Come on, let's go. This way. This way. So yeah, that was that poor kid. He was a better man than me. I think I would have been pretty pissed, but Yeah, the family were cool about it. They actually gave me a fair tip besides that, I was a fair enough server that they thought a tip was still okay. Uh, but there was another time that was not as dramatic as that one, where it was the same situation, except this time it wasn't water. What happened here was that I had put the second to the last drink down, just the same. I bent it over, or I leaned over too much. Or no, that wasn't the issue. The issue was I didn't keep my hand balanced to where the drink shouldn't spill. Fortunately, that didn't happen. Unfortunately, excuse me. The beer that was on there, it was a bottled beer, tipped over, and it was all spilling in this lady's purse. Pretty much, I figured everything in there was ruined, and unfortunately, I need to remember how I'm saying fortunately. Ironically, she said that she didn't even drink beer. So now her purse now smells like beer. I'm just glad she didn't have her phone or anything in there. She said she didn't have anything expensive in there that could not be replaced easily. But man, I feel so bad. How the hell? And oh man, these people were really cool. I offered to buy the table's meal, and she said, "No, don't worry. It's no harm done. At least no heavy harm." But yeah, I was very embarrassed about that. These dogs are about to start barking like crazy. I think I'll cut it here. I'll see. I'll have to look at the other audio, see where the annoying ass dogs were barking. If I happen to cut it out, awesome. If I don't, oh well. All right. Thank you for joining the Jank Radio podcast. This was Jankmaker. Maybe I can find other people to join me in this podcast, either online. Actually, that's probably the only thing I'm gonna do. Freaking dogs. Okay. We'll catch you next time on the Jank Radio podcast.